What if you had the tool to turn your dreams into reality and it wasn't a gimmick? It wasn't a get-rich-quick scheme, the latest fitness craze, a crash diet, or a course you have to pay for? What if it's completely free and right at your fingertips? Well, welcome to the world of ChatGPT, your secret weapon to turning your dreams into reality. And yes, that is actually a direct quote from ChatGPT because I use it to help me plan this video because I want to know what it was really capable of doing. Because let's be honest, the reality is most of us are a one-person team. We have to make the most of our resources that are very limited. We can't hire a personal assistant, a life coach, a brainstorm partner in most cases, but AI can do a lot of that for you. It really can be your personal assistant. It can be your brainstorm partner. It can be your motivation to be able to go after your dreams. And yes, you might be a skeptic. And also, am I the only one that wants to say chat BT, not chat PT? I think it's going to become second nature, but right now it's not for everybody. I do have a friend that ChatGPT and AI in general is second nature, like using Google, which I feel like for most of us now, if we have a question, we go and Google it. Maybe use another platform besides Google, but I feel like most of us use Google, and we have it automatically on our phones, on our computer screens, whatever it is. It's super easy and accessible to use, and we think about using it. Whereas AI is a lot newer, and a lot of people don't think of it as second nature. They're not like, oh, I have this question, or I want to have this conversation, or I'm curious about this. Let me go ask AI. Most people don't do that. And yes, Google has their own version of AI that's built into the search engine now, and you'll see the answers slowly coming up. I think they're working out the kinks. I've seen a lot of funny videos of people Googling stuff, and the AI answer is very, interesting, and I feel like it is having people resist AI more because the answers are kind of bad a lot of times. I do think it is getting better, but no matter which AI program you're going to use, I just want you to start one, because the hardest thing is to start implementing that into your life and thinking of it as a resource you can easily use. So whichever one you're going to use, the first step to manifesting is clarity. You need to know what you want, and I'm sorry to tell you this, but no AI program, no search engine, no future alien from another planet can tell you what you want in life, but it can help you get clarity and help you make it not just a dream, but a reality. But that first step is going to be clarity. So if you already know what you want to do with your life and you've already kind of figured things out, then skip forward to the next step, because I'm kind of at that point where I know what I want, but figuring out how to get there is where I am stuck. But if you're still looking for clarity, I want you to think of AI as your life coach. I want you to come up with your top 3 goals or areas of focus, because I feel like goals is sometimes hard to set when you're looking for clarity, but it's easier to come up with areas of focus. So if you are looking for a new job, a new career path, and that's the only thing on your mind, I want you to start asking AI the questions you are asking yourself in your head. What do I want to do for work? What do I want to do for fitness? What do I want to do for my free time? You need to start asking AI that. And you know you're not about to Google, what do I want to do with my life? Because the answers that are going to come up are going to be interesting and not helpful, and you're not going to learn anything from it. But you can ask AI all the questions you feel too silly to Google, or even sometimes too silly to ask your friends. Or you might ask them in a joking way, but you don't plan on getting any knowledge from the answer they're going to give you. You're just feeling lost. But AI can help you going from lost to a lot more focus with a lot more educated information, because you are just going to literally start asking it the questions you would ask your friend. Because I want you to think of AI more like a person and less like a search engine. You don't need to quantify your question in a way that's going to give you a good search result. You can literally be so general in the beginning, and AI kind of has a way of guiding the conversation and getting you somewhere besides just the generic information. If you kind of follow along with it, we'll talk about it in a second, you'll get what I mean, but I don't want you to spend forever in this planning and dreaming phase, because if you are always daydreaming, you are going to spend your life asleep. That's the reality, because you need to turn your goals into actionable steps, and that's where AI can come and play, because it can break these bigger goals down into smaller manageable steps, because we all know, yeah, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the skinniest, fittest, biggest butted person ever. But if you just have this big goal of having a booty and you don't have any steps in place to actually create that booty, you are gonna spend forever fantasizing about the butt you could have instead of actually doing the workouts you need to do. Me included in that. Right now I have a goal of abs. I kind of want abs. Even though everybody talks about booty, but I kind of want abs. And I know there are manageable steps to do that, but I just keep thinking about the goals and not the things I actually need to do to accomplish them. So whether it is fitness, it is career, it's personal development, or your love life, it can help with just about everything. This video idea actually came from the concept of a love life because I kept seeing the trend of people asking AI, how do I find my dream man? And yes, it is an age-old question, but at the same time, the answers to that question are age-old too, and they're very generic-ass answers that aren't really going to help you, but AI can do a lot more than the generic. If you are open and honest with it, and that sounds weird to be open and honest with something that is not human, but that is what you have to do. You have to be blunt, you have to be direct, you have to mention all of the things that you might shy away from mentioning to a friend. It is going to ask you follow-up questions. I asked, can you help me find my dream man? And it asked me to list the specific things I was looking for in a man, and I was open and honest and blunt with my answer. Over 6 foot. Actually, I think I put 5'10", so let's be honest. That's somewhat of a goal. I also have a preference on ethnicity, and so I put that, and it geared my answers towards specific things that I mention. So don't just say you want to get more fit. Mention that you're a beginner. Mention any obstacles you think are in place, and also mention any goals. So if you have a specific part of fitness like weight loss that you want to do, if you have a specific part of a career you want to do like an income bracket, then you need to mention that stuff because it's actually going to use your obstacles to gear your solutions just as much as it's going to use your goals. So both of them are really important. But don't be discouraged by the answers because sometimes the answers feel like they don't fit you at all. They're not gonna work. There's no way I could do that. That's not gonna blah, 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 blah. And yeah, sometimes that's the reality of the AI answer it's going to give you. When I asked about my dream man, it started listing all these places that there's no way in heck I could get into at least easily. It's going to mention things like country clubs. It's going to mention private resorts and private this and private that and high net worth this, high net worth that, because the reality is the man I want to be with is a provider and he lives in that world. But the thing is that world is closed off to someone like me who's a little bit more of a low income individual and I'm not a part of that world. I don't have family in it. I'm not coming from money. And I was kind of feeling discouraged when I heard all these things where I was like, that's not realistic for me. That's not easy for me to do. It would be a little bit too hard. And when it's too hard, you're less likely to do it. So what I want you to do is be honest and tell it that you can't freaking do that. If it's telling you to go to an Equinox and you can't afford an Equinox membership, if it's telling you to go run in a park but you hate cardio, then tell it that you hate cardio. Ask it questions like, hey, is there something that you can do without including cardio? Is there something you can do without including an entry fee that costs way more than I make in a year? So you're going to have to overcome obstacles, but it can be way better at figuring it out than you can on your own. You just have to tell it that it's an obstacle and it will find a literal solution. It is so solution oriented more than I just poked myself in the eye. More than my own brain is. I can't even, poke my own head. I poke myself in the eye. So use it to your advantage to overcome obstacles and to keep you motivated. If you are feeling discouraged, tell it you're feeling discouraged. Tell it you need help feeling that motivation that you feel once in a while. I feel like this time of year is the time of year that most people do. If you watch this video when it was posted, I posted this in January because 'tis the season. And I feel like a lot of us do have more motivation at the start of the year. But if you're not there yet, or you're watching this video another time of the year, you might need that extra little push to get you motivated. Or if you're feeling like everybody around you is motivated and has all these goals for the coming year and you're not there yet, you still have time. You have a resource that can really help you with that. Think of it almost like you're a therapist too. Though I hear people say don't call it a therapist because again, it's not a licensed doctor. Hello, Astro, are you a therapist? You're my emotional support kitty, but you can't take up the whole camera. Say hi to Astro. She's not AI. She's a little bratty, moody kitty who's letting me dangle her all weird ways. Sorry, mama. You gotta get down. Oh, now I got cat hair on me. Okay, now that I got most of the cat hair off of me, some people say to not call it a therapist because it's not a licensed doctor professional. It's not gonna keep your health records and blah, 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 blah. But I do almost want you to think of it as a therapist because she is knowledgeable and she will support you. She will be there for you. Ugh, still more cat hair. But I guess that's why you kind of have to think of it more like a life coach and less like a doctor. But I've heard people using it to even figure out what's wrong with their kid that has a bunch of health problems and none of the doctors can figure it out. So I'm just saying, we all gotta start using AI more because she is our friend and she can also give us the creative edge. So ask it creative oriented questions. Ask it how you can stand out amongst everybody else. If you're applying for a job, ask how your application could stand out amongst the 5 gazillion applications they're getting. Or how you can stand out in content creation on social media and not be one of the masses. And yes, someone else might be asking AI the same question and doing those steps, but as it learns the things that you are asking about, it will gear its answers towards specifically you as an individual. And it almost does kind of keep a record of you, even if you're doing things in the more private mode. But that point aside, it's kind of like when you talk about something around your phone or you Google something and then all of a sudden you're seeing it everywhere. You're like, I want a popsicle, and now you're getting an ad for a popsicle on this site and this site and this site. It will do the same thing, but in a beneficial way. But it's not trying to sell you something. It's trying to gear its answers more towards something that specifically would work for you as an individual. But I do want you to remember that life isn't all about goal setting and the plans you're gonna make and the steps you're gonna take. It's also about reflection and growth based on what you've done pre-existingly. And AI can be your tool to journal, track your progress. It can help you reflect on things, on what's working and what's not working. It is going to track that information and help use it to redefine what you are going to do going forward. You can't expect one goal and one plan and one step to work forever. You're gonna have to recheck in with AI and yourself to make sure that what you're manifesting is going on track and redefine what the goal is if the goal has changed. The reality is, as you grow and develop as a person, as you start taking these steps, the plan might change. And most likely it probably should change. A bit of clarity on what we want in life, a plan in place to make it happen, solutions to our obstacles, and continued reflection so we can redefine what we are doing and what exactly our end goal is. I really think we are all capable of making every single goal we have come true. Making that life we dream about and fantasize, no matter how far-fetched it is. I really think it is possible with this tool in place if you are going to use it and implement it as a resource in your regular everyday to-day life. Personally, I'm really trying to use it more often. I just started touching my toes in and I am amazed at what it can do, but I want to hear what your goals are, what things you want AI to help you with, what's your dream life. I want to learn about you and I want us to succeed together. So comment down below, let's have a conversation. And just so you know, if you are new here, my name is Tori. I post a new video every single Wednesday helping you figure out adulting while I'm attempting to figure it out myself. We are all in this journey together, and I hope you have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. I'll see you Wednesday.